What's up, it's you for today's video with a full gym leader Melony team. So we've done Milo, Nessa, Kaboo, Bia, Alistair, Opal, Bede and Gordy. So man, we've only got a couple to go now. I think we've got Pierre, Marnie and Ryan. That's about it. I think they're the only ones left for the gym leaders. Alright, I got two good battles for you today, people, and I do want to make a small little announcement too. There will be a 24-hour stream for me celebrating 750,000 subscribers. I'll be doing it this weekend from Saturday to Sunday. I will be giving more details as we get a little bit closer to the weekend, but just a heads up for you people, I'll be streaming that one on Twitch as well. So make sure you are following Twitch. The link is in the description, Twitch TV/PIMPNITE YT. Alright, I'm not sure who this opponent's name is, but let's get into it. We got a Mimikyu lead here, so we have got a Frostmoth. So the gym leader had Hurricane and Blizzard as the main two moves on the Frostmoth. We're going to set up the Hail. So what I did for this one, I gave it the Icy Rock as an item, and I gave it max speed and max special attack. Now, I actually gave this one Modest Nature because it actually had Tailwind, so I could double the speed of the Frostmoth and, take it out with a really powerful, Modest Nature Blizzard or any Pokemon. Alright, so interesting enough, the Mimikyu is going to go for a Charm. Obviously expecting me to swap there, so kind of an interesting set, right? Didn't expect Mimikyu to use Charm against me. So we're going to go for a Blizzard here on the Mimikyu, and that's going to break its disguise at least. Now, all of my team works really good with Hail on the field, so this was like a good Pokemon to set up the Hail with, right? So now we've got the Mimikyu going for a Light Screen, so it's got Charm and Light Screen, so it's like a bulky Mimikyu, which is really interesting there. Now, we got some extra hail damage, which is good. I can go for another Blizzard here to try and take it out. Now, since there's a Light Screen in the field, I'm definitely feeling that Blizzard is not going to take it out, right? It probably won't do all that much damage. It doesn't, but I get a Freeze Hacked on the Mimikyu, which is absolutely awesome. So Mimikyu's going to be frozen solid in a little block of ice there, and I can go for another, two Blizzards and take this out. I also got that hail damage, which is kind of handy too. So the good thing about Blizzard, if you don't know already, most people already know this, obviously Blizzard is 100% actually in the hail. So Mimikyu is going to live that one, and it's going to thaw out and go for a Psychic. This is a really crazy set. So that was Charm, Light Screen, and Psychic. Interesting set there. So it didn't even have any stab. So, really, I do like the set. That's really cool. Like, you have the Disguise, and you've got the Charm and the Light Screen, too, to make yourself bulky. Alright, so go for another Tailwind here instead of going for a Blizzard. I thought if I go for Tailwind, I can set the rest of my team up, and the Hail will take out the Mimikyu. I'm pretty confident the Mimikyu can't take me out. All of it's used is Psychic, right? If it had, like, a Ghost or Fairy type move, it would have used it already. Alright, so now we got another Hack Charizard coming out here. These things are everywhere. If you got one of these, take the Master Ball off it and just release it. Any Pokemon with that name. Now, I can go for a Blizzard here. That's going to be my best option against Charizard. All my Pokemon are very weak to Fire types and stuff as well, and Rock types. They're a very big counter to me. Alright, so go for that Blizzard there. Blizzard does pretty good damage to Charizard, and now Charizard's going to go for a Flamethrower, and obviously Frostmoth is going to go down. Now, this actually didn't have Icy Scales either, which was kind of unfortunate, so it didn't have the best ability. It had Shield Dust instead. So we're going to get a little bit of damage on that Charizard with the Hail, and now we're going to go into Escu. So Escu actually we got the Tailwind up, and it's got the Surf. So it's like, okay, we can go for Surf on this one. This is a special Escu set, so normally it's a little bit better on the physical side, but the gym leader opted for the special wrap. So go for that Surf there. Hoping I can take this Charizard out. I am running max speed and max special attack. It does not very much damage with that Light Screen up. And now Charizard is going to eat a berry. Once again, I didn't have a lot of Pokemon to swap into Charizard because it was super effective against pretty much my entire team. So Charizard, instead of going for a Flamethrower, it's going to go for a Focus Mist. And Escu is going to go down. Man, poor little Pingu there. So I've lost 2 Pokemon already. Now, the gym leader only had 5 Pokemon on their team too. So a lot of time it was 5v6. And I had that Monotype sort of Ice team going on too. Alright, so now we're into Diamantine. This is the best Pokemon on the team. Now, I had Zen mode. It didn't have Guerrilla Tactics, so it required me to lose a little bit of health, and I didn't even have anything like a Subshoot or anything along those lines, so it definitely wasn't as good as a normal Galar Diamantine, just straight up damage with Guerrilla Tactics or Substitute, right? So Charizard is going to go down to an Ice Field Crash. Thank goodness that didn't miss, because that would have definitely been game there. So now the Hail is going to stop. That doesn't matter too much. I want to see if I can get this this Galar Diamantine into Zen mode range, and that's where Flare Blitz comes along. If I can go for the Flare Blitz and put myself in range, I'll have some greater offense and greater speed. So Persian Alola is going to come in here. Now, there's not a lot I can do this. It is going to outspeed me and go for the Power Gem, doing over half health, which is actually pretty good there. I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz here. I would have loved the Zen mode kicked in before that, but Zen mode is going to kick in after the turn. So I do below half damage to the Persian. Obviously, it's got the Fur Coat ability powering down those, physical hits. And now we are into Zen mode. So Zen mode has triggered. Now, I can go for another Flare Blitz, or I can go for Icicle Crash. I was thinking either one of those moves are going to be my best bet, because they've got the stab right. But if Icicle Crash misses, that could be really, really bad. So I've got to go for Flare Blitz. It's 100% actually. I know that I can probably live the recoil damage, and Persian is going to just hang on by a slither of health and take me out with a foul play. That was very, very unfortunate, because I would have lived and I could have got maybe another Pokemon down or something like that. Alright, now we're going to go into Mr. Rhyme. Mr. Rhyme is max speed, max special attack, EVs. It's got Psychic, Freeze Dry, Energy Ball, and Nasty Plot. So this is actually all that better set. It's a speedy Nasty Plot sweeper. So I can go for any move to take up this Persian. They took a fair amount of time making this decision, maybe thinking, what should I go for? Should I swap? Eventually they went for the Shadow Claw on Mime Jr. Not Mime Jr., Mr. Rhyme. Damn, I'm getting all my mimes mixed up. All these mimes, man. Go for the Freeze Dry, and a Lola Persian is going to go down. We've taken out half the team, which is pretty nice too. That shiny doesn't look too bad too. It looks like a lot better than it normally did. I don't know. I guess that's just the Switch graphics. All right, next Pokemon we got is the Roserade. Now, I do have Psychic, and I do have an Ice-type move on this thing. The only thing I've got to worry about if it does outspeed me, I was running Timid Nature on this one too, so locking myself into that Psychic there. I do outspeed the Roserade, and unless Roserade's got a Focus Sash, it ain't going to be living this one, and it's going to go down. So starting to even up the battle a little bit. Mr. Rhyme just in time taking out two of those Pokemon, right? So we've got two more Pokemon to go here, and man, there was a pretty strong Pokemon on their team, and yes, it's going to be a Mewtwo. We can't have a battle without the person bringing a shiny Mewtwo, right? Okay, so the pressure is on here. Mr. Rhyme's feeling a little bit pressure there. There's not a lot I can do apart from going for a Freeze Dry. I know Freeze Dry is not going to take it out. It's probably going to be about a 3-hit KO. Now, the item I gave Mr. Rhyme was a Life Orb as well. So obviously, since I had a big clutch comeback into this battle, the opponent's starting to feel, a little bit scared. So they got a Dynamax Team Mewtwo to try and win, right? So it's all good. It's all good. I've got a Dynamax Pokemon or G-Max Pokemon in the back. So the last Pokemon you guys probably know is going to be my Lapras, right? So this was Melony's full team. Now, some of you may not have seen this battle, right? Because these are the version exclusive gym leaders. So this would have been for Shield, right? Okay, so I'm going to hit by, I'm assuming, a Fire Blast, and Mr. Rhyme is definitely going to go down to that one coming from a freaking Mewtwo, and Drought is, the sun is going to be put on the field. Drought Mewtwo, guys, Hacker Exposed. So I can bring in my Lapras now, and we can start to try and take this Mewtwo out. So I've got in this set, Blizzard, Hydro Pump, Life Dew, and Thunder. Life Dew is actually quite handy, and Thunder's quite good too, because at least I can hit remaining water type Pokemon, so I don't get walled, stuff like that. So we're gonna go for the G-Max Lapras. This Pokemon is very, very, very bulky, which is I kind of gonna need it for versing Mewtwo, and it's actually got a really, really good design too. And it's obviously its G-Max move can do Aura Veil, which is very, very handy, making your team extremely bulky. Now I did think about doing Lapras a little bit earlier on to get the Veil up on the field, but I like to leave it to last. I don't like the Dynamax too earlier on. So Mewtwo's gonna go for a Max Flare. It's only got one more turn of Dynamax left. That's why I went for the Max Guard to stall that out a little bit. So I can go for a G-Max Resonance here. And that is going to do some good damage, and it's going to put the Aurora Veil on the field, which is going to be super, super handy. Especially on top of Lapras, it's so bulky, right? So we got assuming that's coming from Fire Blast. It does below half health, and that's going to be really good for Lapras, because it's going to be able to tank that one very easily. So I go for G-Max Resonance there. It doesn't do a lot of damage, which is fine, but I do have the Aurora Veil up, which is going to be super, super handy. You can see the little, Veil of Light going up there. So I've got one more turn of this, and then Lapras is going to go back to normal. So I've got Leftovers as the item as well. Mewtwo is going to come small again, and I'm assuming it's got something like Psy Strike. That's his normal Psychic type move. It's a very, very powerful move too. So I could go for another Max Guard here, or I could just go for Max Geyser and put the Rain on the field, and then I could go for a Thunder or another Hydro Pump to take this Mewtwo out. That was sort of like my plan at the moment. Now, there was the Sun on the field too, and I didn't really want the Sun on the field. So if I went for another Fire type move, I'll go for the Hydro Pump or the Max Geyser, right, to power that down. Unfortunately, they're going to go for a Side Strike on my Lapras. It doesn't do a lot of damage anyway because the, the Aurora Veil is on the field. And now we're going to make it rain. So it's going to go for a Side Strike. That's the only move it can really go for. If it had like an electric type move, it would have done it already, like a long time ago. So getting them a nice leftover recovery, and Lapras is going to be small again. Now, I can go for a Thunder here, 100% actually in the rain. Will it take Mewtwo out? I was like, it might just be able to hang on. So I'm going to go for a, I was thinking, like, should I go for Life Dew here, or should I go for... It was obviously, I wasn't going to go for Blizzard. So it's Hydro Pump, Life Dew, or Thunder. Now, I was thinking about Life Dew. I don't want to go for Life Dew for too long, because if I saw the opponent out for too long, I may get critted, and the Veil obviously is gone away and stuff, so I don't want to do that. So we're going to go for the Hydro Pump. Now we got a Side Strike from the Mewtwo. Man, that's such a cool move. So I can probably live maybe one more of them, and Hydro Pump is going to connect, and that one is in the rain too. So Mewtwo is definitely not going to be living that one. And my friends, that is the battle. Now that was only 5 Pokemon. They actually brought 5 Pokemon. They were pretty good to me. They only brought 5. So props to them for that one. And thank you for the battle if you ever watched this video. All right, let's get on to this second battle. This one was against Chungus, or Big Old Chungus. And this battle was pretty interesting too. Oh, we both got 69. I just realized that. I need a drink, by the way. Also, during my 24-hour live stream, I have a lot of theme teams to use. We're going to do some multi-battles, some raids, some other games, like a whole bunch of stuff. So, yeah, make sure you mark that one down in your calendar. I will give exact times and stuff, and, as it gets closer to the weekend. Okay, so setting up Hail against the Mimikyu. This is like deja vu. We got a little Mimikyu. This Mimikyu is not shiny. It was close enough. So we're going to get hit by the Shadow Claw there. I'm able to withstand that one pretty nicely, and Mimikyu's going to get hit by the Hail. Now, I can opt to go for a Blizzard here just to break us Disguise. Getting rid of Disguise is also, like, very important on Mimikyu. And you get a little bit of damage from the nerf they gave it. Not that it was much of a nerf at all. The only real nerf that I believe that it was good for Disguise or to get rid of was it holding a Focus Sash, and I believe Focus Sash is a very good item on Mimikyu anyway. So we got another Shadow Claw, and Frostmoth is going to go down to a critical hit. I believe I probably would have lived that one, but there is a possibility it had Shadow Sneak already. So, it is what it is. That's Pokemon, right? So, Mimikyu's Disguise is gone. I got to get rid of it, though, so Mr. Rhyme is going to be coming into this one. It is weak to Mimikyu, but I feel like I can almost take it out with a powerful Freeze Dry or Psychic, or I could set up a Nasty Pot. I didn't want to set up Nasty Pot in its face in case it did have Shadow Sneak, which most of the time Mimikyu does have, so that would be a bit cheeky doing that. I could get wrecked. So we got a Shadow Sneak here. I knew that it had Shadow Sneak, and Shadow Sneak actually does under half health, which is very, very good. Now Mr. Rhyme could go for a Freeze Dry here. It's going to fire Freeze Dry out of it, I'm not sure where, and the Life Orb is actually going to be able to take me out with probably the next hit from the Shadow Sneak. It's going to be very, very close. So I can go for a Psychic here. I could probably, Psychic's probably the best play here. I can go for Freeze Dry. It doesn't really matter as long as I can take this Mimikyu outright. So we got another Shadow Sneaker from the Mimikyu, and actually able to live that one on 11 health. Unfortunately for me here, Ryan, I am going to take the Mimikyu out, but the Life Orb is also going to take me out too, which is unfortunate. So I could have still had my Mr. Rhyme around, but I guess I wouldn't have done as much damage. So Mr. Rhyme's going to go down, but at least it took out the Mimikyu. Now, the main problem with this battle so far is I've only taken 1 Pokemon out. They've got 5 other Pokemon, and I've only got 3 left, right? So they were at a huge disadvantage already. So I really had to get back into this game. So we got another Charizard here, except it's not shiny and it's not hacked. And we got my Galar Darmanitan. So I can't do a lot here apart from going for Stone Edge. I have to have this connecting. I outspeed the Charizard, and that is going to land, and Charizard, it ain't going to like that one. It's going to go down. So suddenly the battle is thrown back in my favor. Or at least, or not really back in my favor, but the score is evened up a little bit more. So we got the Tyranitar coming in here. It's going to have that Sandstream. Now, the problem about Sandstream is it's going to be very bulky, and I don't really have a really powerful move to hit it with apart from a super effective Earthquake. Now, I already know that I won't be able to take a Tyranitar out with Earthquake. I'd need something like, I'd say like Superpower or something like that, right? So going for Earthquake, had to do as much damage as humanly possible to it, or Pokemonly possible. I actually was low-key hoping for a crit there. It didn't happen, and now we got a Stone Edge from the Tyranitar, and there's no way I'm going to be living that one. And Galar Darmanitan is going to go down before it could pop into Zen mode. So we got 2 more Pokemon left, and I've still got to take out 4 more. So now we're going to go into my Esco here, Escu has got Surf. I could use that to take it out. Oh, also the rule for anyone that is watching this for the first time, I wasn't allowed to Dynamax any of my other Pokemon. I was only allowed to G-Max Lapras. That was sort of like the rules, because that's what the, the gym leader did, right? So go for a Surf in the sand against the Tyranta, and it was just enough to take it out, which was really good there. I felt like they almost had a chance of living, because its special attack isn't very great shakes. So taking a little bit of damage there from the Sandstorm, and Toxtricity is going to come in. So I know this thing's going to be able to hit me really hard, but at the same time, I don't have a lot to swap into. It's not like I could swap into my Lapras, because I know that, if it goes for something like Overdrive, Lapras will get, hit really, really hard. So it's going to go for the Overdrive there, and man, that drops hard against my Escu. I could go for a Freeze Dry here, but that's pretty much all I can do against Toxtricity, and I've still got a couple more Pokemon to contend with as well. So a little bit more Sandstorm damage against the Toxtricity. I am going to be going down this time. I couldn't have, out of all the battles I had, I said didn't really help me out too much. I mean, on the surface, right, I said looks like a really good ability, but if you get hit by special moves, it's actually really not all that good, because it doesn't go into its more offensive form, and it doesn't hit really hard. So that's the weakness with Escu. So if you come across the Escu and you're worried about it, or you're thinking like, how can I beat Escu? Hit it with special moves. It can't do too much damage, right? Anyway, so we've got my Lapras as the last Pokemon. I've got to go for the G-Max Resonance here, and hopefully I can, get us back into this game. It's at the moment it's at 1-3, so I've got a really big count here. So going to that bulky Lapras there, trying to get the Aura Veil off, and I need to get some really, really powerful hits off against these Pokemon, right? They're very, very threatening ones too. So getting a big buff and health there. We got 410 health there at level 50, which is a lot of health when you convert it to level 100. We got an Overdrive here. I tanked that very, very well considering. And now we're going to go for a G-Max Resonance on the Toxtricity. This should be enough to take it out and put the Veil up on the field too, which is going to be super, super handy. So getting that Veil up, and I do have Life Dew as well. Remember, even if I do go down out of that, I can still go for Life Dew and heal myself too. Like, Life Dew works in doubles, but also works in singles too. Not that it gives you as much health back in singles, but it's still very handy, right, when you add in the leftovers recovery on top of it too. Right, we've got 2 more Pokemon to deal with, and now we've got a Gyarados coming in. So like, okay, this is good, because they don't know that I've got Thunder, and that's gonna take Gyarados out from out under, if you know what I'm saying. I can go for a Thunder here and take this out easy, or Max Lightning, and that'll be like super, super handy to take that out in one shot. I was wondering what it could do to me. It was a special set. They went for Hurricane. Hurricane is going to miss. Not that it would have done a lot of damage. There's no way that would have done like nothing. Probably like, gee, I don't know. It wouldn't have even like barely taken me over half. And Gyarados is going to go down to one shot to that very easily. Now, the last Pokemon had me a little bit worried, not because it had a lot of physical offense, it was just because it was very, very bulky, like my Lapras, I guess. And I was wondering if it had any forms of recovery, because I did have a form of recovery, but, does this Snorlax have rest? That's what I was thinking about. Anyway, the terrain was on the field, which is actually going to help me out a lot if it did. And I can go for another, like any attack. It does have thick fat. Normally, it always has thick fat. Now it's going to be a G-Max Snorlax, and they haven't G-Max yet, or Dynamax. So I was like, okay, what can I do here? They could go for a, it's G-Max move. It may heal itself up with a berry if it gets that 50% chance, or I could just use Life Dew and get my health back like continually, right? Because Lapras will outspeed Snorlax. So Snorlax is like a really, really slow, bulky Pokemon, right? Okay, so now we're going to go for the G-Max Resonance again, and I just want to see what ability it has. Not that it really matters, I already kind of guess what it is. And as you can see, it's definitely got thick fat. So we're going to Max Steel Strike there. Lapras is going to get hit by that, not doing a lot of damage, but it is boosting Snorlax's defense. That doesn't really matter at all, but unless it's got like a move that needs defense, which I'm definitely thinking it doesn't. So it's got some more leftover recovery on Lapras. Lapras is going to be small again. Now I can start going for Hydro Pump. That's pretty much my main move here. Now, does this thing have a form of recovery? Yes or no? That's what I had to figure out. Okay, so since I was fast here, I'm going to go for Life Dew and heal my Lapras up. All I've got to do is withstand 2 more turns of a Gigantamax Snorlax's onslaught. So getting some more health back. It's not a lot of health, but anything better than nothing. Now we're going to Max Mindstorm there. So I'm thinking, okay, that's probably got Zen Headbutt. Usually Snorlax is a physical set. Unless it's special when it's psychic. That'd be like super, super weird though. Okay, so it's got those 2 moves. We've seen them already. The battlefield is going to become weird. That's going to get rid of priority. Not that it really matters at all. I think they just wanted to get rid of the terrain as well, that electric terrain in the field. Okay, I can go for another Life Dew. I thought if I get critical hit, that'd be really, really bad. So I want to go for one more Life Dew and start spamming Hydro Pump. And hopefully the Snorlax isn't carrying something like Rest or Sleep Talk, or just Rest in general, right? So go for another Life Dew on the Lapras there and getting some more health recovery. I think it's like, just looking at the health I get back. I think that it's about you get back, is it 1/8 or something like that? I don't know. I'm not sure. About 1/8. Someone in the comment section can answer that one. I forgot what it was. Anyway, getting hit by, I'd say that would have been a crunch, and that's going to drop my special defense. Once again, it doesn't really matter if Snorlax isn't running a special move. Most of the time, it's going to be running a physical move. So the Aura Barrel is going to wear off, unfortunately, but that's good, though, because Snorlax couldn't really make the most of its G-Max at all against me. Alright, so it's 1v1 now. I can start to go for a Hydro Pump, and hopefully I can take the Snorlax out. Once again, Snorlax is a very bulky Pokemon. So on the Lapras set, I ran Max Health and Max Special Attack, and we had like a boosting special attacking nature on that one, of course. So I hit it with my hardest Hydro Pump, and it's about a I'd say it's about a 3-hit KO, which is really good. So Snorlax is going to stand on me, and that's pretty good damage to me, but I do have the leftovers, and I can go for another Life Dew there. So I was like, okay, I can definitely leave another Body Slam if I go for another Hydro Pump here. If I miss, it doesn't matter. I can go for another Life Dew, and then I can spam like Hydro Pump and take this Snorlax out. So go for another Hydro Pump there. It's going to connect on the, I know they said the Lapras, the Snorlax, and one more Hydro Pump should almost be enough to actually take this one out. I actually got mid damage on that one too. Snorlax actually paralyzes me there. I'm like, oh no. This is really, really bad. Now, it is a very slow Pokemon, but Lapras isn't what you call Sonic the Hedgehog, right? So I'm going to go for another Hydro Pump, a Life Dew here, hoping to heal myself up and then go for the same thing. However, that Paralyzed is actually going to get it outspeed me, and Snorlax is going to take me out. Nothing I could have done there. They basically won by RNG. I thought I did a really good battle there. Thank you for the battle, Chungus. You lucked out there. Go buy a lot of ticket. All right, people. Hope to see you tomorrow for another video. Peace out.